How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Armchair Analysis here on YouTube. Hope you guys are having a great week so far. I'm a day late on this video getting out, and I apologize. I got a little busy yesterday. We only missed the 7 versus 8 seed play-ins. I'll get you guys up to date on that. But today it's all about NBA playoffs, a preview of the NBA playoffs. Later this week on, I think Friday, we're going to have another video talking about everything that's going on in the week, the NHL playoff race that is now down to 2 teams. We'll have all that later this week. So subscribe, leave a like, all that stuff to make sure you keep up with everything that we have here on the channel. The first 2 videos have done pretty well. I'm happy with the performance of those, but as always, looking to get better and do things differently. So please let me know where I can improve and get better for you guys. And yeah, without any further interruptions, let's get into today's topic. So the NBA playoffs are here. The play-in games were started yesterday. The 7 versus 8 seed games. Winners, of course, get the 7 seed, and those were also some fun games yesterday. Orlando going and taking the 7 seed in the Eastern Conference playoffs over the Miami Heat. And then you have the Warriors taking their spot in the 7 seed in their win over the Memphis Grizzlies. That leaves the 9-10 games, which are tonight, Wednesday night, on April 16th, where the Chicago Bulls will face the Miami Heat. I'm sorry, I also misspoke. The Magic beat the Hawks, not the Heat. So apologies for that already. The Bulls play the Heat tonight in the 9-10 matchup, and then the Sacramento Kings and the Dallas Mavericks are the Western Conference 9-10 matchup. Those teams play for the opportunity to be the 8 seed. Winner goes on in the 8 seed game. I have the Bulls tonight over the Miami Heat, and I have the Sacramento Kings over the Dallas Mavericks. Those are 2 of my picks. Now on Friday, the 8 seed games, I'm taking the Chicago Bulls to make a run here and put themselves in the playoffs and beat the Atlanta Hawks. As for the Western Conference playoffs, I'm taking the Memphis Grizzlies to grab the 8 seed, and they'll face the Oklahoma City Thunder in the 1-8 matchup. Grizzlies over the Kings this weekend. So with that, let's talk about matchups and everything. And this video is titled A Casual's Guide to the NBA playoffs in 2025. And the reason for that is because I'm a very casual NBA viewer. I have a solid knowledge of the league and everything. I just don't watch every game or every minute of every game the same way I do with like the Red Sox as much as I can, or college football, NHL, stuff like that. But I do keep up enough to know the things that I think are necessary to be known. And so we'll talk a little bit about all the things that I feel necessary for you if you're taking a look into the NBA playoffs or trying to determine who you're going to pick to make their run. Hopefully I can be of at least a little bit of inspiration to you. So in round 1, I got the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Chicago Bulls in the 1-8 matchup. Again, the Bulls winning. This is a projection, not the actual matchup. I got the Bulls winning and getting their way to the 8 seed. No matter who I see or who makes it to the playoffs in the 8 seed, I'm taking Cleveland to win. I really like this entire roster, honestly, but led by Donovan Mitchell, they've been extremely good all year long. The best team by far. Well, I don't want to say by far, but they've definitely been the best team, I think, throughout the entire season in the Eastern Conference. Of course, they've had multiple 10-plus game winning streaks. They've just been a model of consistency, similar to what the Boston Celtics have been this season as well. We'll talk about them a little later. But the Cavaliers, I think the big difference maker is Donovan Mitchell. And that's, speaking the obvious, he's going to be the guy that I think you really have to watch out for. I'm taking the Cavs in 4 over the Bulls. In Boston, the Celtics will be the 2 seed. They're facing Orlando, and that matchup is set in stone, and I'm going to take Boston to win in 5 over the Magic. I think the Magic have some really interesting pieces to this roster that could make things interesting. But at the end of the day, it's going to be Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, really the entirety of this Celtics lineup that are just going to be too good and too overpowering for the Orlando Magic. The Celtics are a team that I think I don't have too many locks to go and make the conference finals, but I think the Celtics do, especially with their path. The 3 versus 6 matchup is the New York Knicks and the Detroit Pistons. The Pistons are a surprise team this year. They have a lot of young players who have never really seen the playoffs before. The Pistons are making their first playoff appearance in a few years. I'd have to go look and see exactly when, but the Pistons have not been around for a while in the playoff picture. The Knicks have been here for the last 3 or 4 years. Super consistent, definitely one of the better teams in the conference. And of course, Jalen Brunson is going to be the guy you're watching for them. The Knicks, I think, are going to get through Detroit. Just the lack of playoff experience harms the potential for Detroit to really make a run here. I'm taking Knicks in 5 as well. And then we have the Pacers and the Bucks, and this is the best matchup in the Eastern Conference in the first round. And you know, it's going to be a matter of like Tyrese Halliburton and Giannis Antetokounmpo. You're going to see the entirety of this Bucks team be successful, but you're also going to see the same thing from Indiana. The Pacers offense has been, I'm trying to think of the right word to use here. I'm not going to overcomplicate things. The Pacers offense has been good this year. I think they're going to be able to outplay Milwaukee in this series, especially with home court advantage. I'm taking the Pacers to outlast the Bucks, and I'm going to say 6. That's what I'm going to go with there. Over to the Western Conference, we have Oklahoma City and Memphis. I'm going to take Oklahoma City. This team, they won the Western Conference. They were the 1 seed in the Western Conference by a mile, and I want to get the correct numbers here, so forgive me for just a second as I look here. I believe it was 14 games over second. It was 16. They took first by 16 games over the Houston Rockets. If there is a team to beat in the West, it is 100% Oklahoma City. And honestly, I think that the question should be, can anybody make it to 7 with Oklahoma City? This team is far and away the best in the league, in my opinion. I think they're walking into the playoffs as the best team in the league. I think Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has been fantastic. Should be league MVP this season, if you're asking me. This team is going to be tough to beat. I'm taking OKC sweeping the Grizzlies. In the 2-7, we have Houston Rockets and the Golden State Warriors, where I'm going to take my first upset of the playoffs. I'm taking the Warriors. I think they've gotten a little bit onto a bit of a hot streak here lately. And the biggest thing is between 2nd and 8th in the Western Conference, it is a 4-game differential between all of these teams. Anybody can beat anybody. And with that said, it goes without saying that I'm going to have to take an upset somewhere. I'm going to take the playoff experience. I'm going to take the Golden State Warriors over the Houston Rockets. And I'm going to take that one in 6. I think the Warriors and I think the Rockets hang around. Honestly, I could see 7, but we'll go with 6. As for the Lakers and the Timberwolves, I think that this Lakers team has a lot to prove. Reason for that, of course, the big trade for Luka Doncic earlier in the season. Blockbuster, broke the internet, broke the entire league, really. So we walk away from that, and then also on top of that, JJ Redick's in as the head coach. He's trying to make a point that he belongs as the head coach. I think the Lakers are going to take down the Timberwolves. I'm going to take them in 6. Then we have Denver and Los Angeles, the Los Angeles Clippers. Denver has something to prove themselves. Of course, Mike Malone, the surprise firing, we covered that last week, and kind of the mass amounts of firings of championship-winning coaches in the league. Denver's got a lot to prove here. Nikola Jokic has a lot to prove here. I think they're going to get it done. I'm going to take Denver to beat the Clippers in 6. The Western Conference is going to be far and away more competitive than the East. in my opinion, minus that 1-8 matchup. All right, let's go ahead and move into the second round. I've kind of told you what I think of every team so far, so we're going to make these a little bit quicker. As for the Eastern Conference, I'm going to take the Cavaliers over the Pacers in the 1-4 matchup. Again, I just believe that the Cavaliers are... I think they're the best team in the East. I know it's close between them and Boston, especially as of late. Boston's looked a little bit better. I still think the Cavs are the better team, and especially in this matchup against the Pacers, but I'm going to take the Cavs in 6. I really like how Indiana can match up and maybe make a bit of a problem for this Cavalier defense. Don't be surprised if this goes 7. I'm taking the Cavs again in 6. Could go shorter. Could hit 7. I think 6 is a happy medium on a lot of these, and I know that's kind of the easy way out. But I promise it gets bold. Taking Boston over the New York Knicks in the second round in the 2-3 matchup. Going chalk here. I think Boston and Cleveland are the best 2 teams in this conference by far, as do the standings. They show exactly that. And in 7 games, I don't think you can hang with either of these 2 teams. Those are the 2 I've got going on to the conference finals. In the West, I'm taking Oklahoma City to beat Denver. Now, again, this is where I think that I don't think the coach firing is going to mean too much. Denver went 3-0 without Mike Malone post firing. Denver was 3-0, including a win over the Houston Rockets. Oklahoma City, I just think, again, more talented, better team. Going to go on and win this one. Taking the Thunder in, I'm going to go 6. I think that's as far as it goes, a 6. In the Warriors and Lakers matchup, I'm taking the Golden State Warriors to go on to the Western Conference Finals. Now, this is where it's pretty bold, and it's kind of predicated on a whole lot of nothing. I think that Steph Curry kind of makes one last run with the Warriors here, getting to a conference finals. That's really all there is to it. I think he's got one more run in him as a member of the Golden State Warriors, and I think the roster has one more run in it as well. Taking the Warriors over the Lakers here. That one's going 7. That series will go 7. I don't matter who's on the court in that. Eastern Conference Finals, I'm taking the Cleveland Cavaliers over the Boston Celtics in 7. With the MVP in the Eastern Conference Finals being Donovan Mitchell. In the Western Conference Finals, I'm taking the Oklahoma City Thunder over the Golden State Warriors in 6. MVP, SGA. Meaning Cleveland Cavaliers and Oklahoma City Thunder in the NBA Finals, where I am taking the Cleveland Cavaliers in 7. MVP, Donovan Mitchell. Again, I just think... There's just something about this that I feel like the Cavaliers are going to make that run and kind of get hot again, get back on that winning track here in this playoffs run. Not sure exactly what the idea is or why I feel this way. Just kind of the hunch, I guess, that I'm riding with here. So we will see if it works out for me. Again, this is a casuals guide. I'm not going to sit here and act like my word is everybody's word or should be, because it certainly should not be. But I am going to be heavily invested, paying attention in the NBA playoffs, and hopefully we can come out of here looking like we know a little bit of something. So my dark horse for the playoffs, I still think Denver is a NBA Finals contender and championship contending team. Should Denver beat Oklahoma City, I think they make the finals. And if they make the finals, I think that Jokic can take over and be the guy that leads Denver to a second finals championship in 3 seasons. So that's where I sit. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up on the screen so you guys can see one more time. Well, see for the first time, but see what you just heard. Cleveland Cavaliers 2025 NBA Finals champions. Let me know who you're picking down below. Let me know your conference championship picks and your finals picks. Let me know who you got for MVP in the NBA playoffs or the finals, either or. And yeah, super excited. Appreciate everybody for tuning in, and hope to have some interaction in the comments section. And yeah, we will see you guys in the next one.